As far as college goes, I actually went to Clemson University. I majored in education with a minor in sports management and athletic leadership, which is basically just going to school to coach. And when I left Clemson, I ended up leaving to start my own business because teaching just wasn't viable financially. So it started to look more and more like League of Legends would bring that balance where I could still teach, young adults, which is what I always wanted to do, is my passion, and still be able to financially support my family and things like that. So I really started to look into it and get more serious about brushing up on my coaching and trying to figure out ways that you could transition that education and that experience into league, which didn't seem to have anyone in the scene who had that background. When they did the job posting for that, it looked like the right way to do it, right? It was very professionally done. They put out a call for older, more mature and experienced people, and I was like, wow, that's an organization that's actually looking to take it in the right direction. So I put in a lot of effort in my application on that one. I think it was after they asked for a philosophy of coaching, which is a huge deal. It's one of the first things that you do in school is you start to write and think about what your philosophy is in coaching. And as soon as I saw that on the requirements, I was like, wow, this is probably the best opportunity I'm going to find in North America. I submitted my application, and then they sent out scrim footage, an old scrim from a while back. Can you just review this and record it and send it back to us? And we're going to take a look at that. I mostly focus on what the guys were saying, not so much the gameplay, because that's not really where I thought that the team could improve the most. It was more what the communication was, right? Who was talking about what and how they could improve that communication style. I went over all that and then sent that in. A couple days later, they're like, all right, we want you to fly out and come hang out with the team for a week, see how you mesh with everyone, and basically, get your feet wet in esports and come coach the team for a week. I think at the point where they were flying me from South Carolina, I had a good idea that as long as I did well, if I executed on what I thought would be a good League of Legends coach, I would be fine. I am married a year as of July 26th. As far as the experience moving here goes, it was a big transition, right? We were in South Carolina, we own our own home out there. And so it's honestly more like the college lifestyle, which as soon as we kind of looked at it from that perspective, it was much better and it was much more fun, or it has been much more fun out here because it's more like hanging out in the fraternity house, just much less partying and far more nerdy, right? The organization has talented players from top to bottom. It puts more into its support staff than probably any other team in our region, and it does it the right way. First of all, when they hired Weldon, that was probably the first right thing that the organization did that no other team even thought to do. CLG was the first team to say, hey, yeah, we want to listen to what you have to say because we think that it's important. And then when they decided to go find someone who had experience coaching an actual team, a group of young men, they continued to do the right thing. And that's just how it's been step by step by step. They've made really good decisions the past year probably that led up to us winning first place. Since I walked in the door, the entire experience here has been, we'll do whatever it takes to win, and if we believe that this is a way to win, they do it, and they don't even ask questions about it. It's just that easy. It really hasn't been a struggle or difficult at all. One day, we told them, we're gonna have a team meeting at 9 a.m. 2 people were late, all right, well, we're gonna go out to breakfast without those 2 people. It's that simple. And that's part of why the background and the experience is important, is because you know how to motivate people and you know how to discipline people in a team environment to make sure that they grow into those things themselves. That way, again, it's about personal development, right? When they leave this house, they'll have that discipline instilled in them, and they won't need someone else to tell them 9 a.m. is 9 a.m. I think as far as the changes go, it's just been a more disciplined atmosphere. Right, so when you tell them that they're to be up at 9 to go for a run, generally they're up at 9, ready to walk out the door. When we say that we have scrims at 12, they're there at 12. Other teams aren't. Other teams show up at 12:15, 12:30. And that's how it used to be at CLG, right? They would waste 20, 30 minutes of scrim time just being late, going to Subway, going to Starbucks, doing whatever it is that they feel is more important than practice. And now practice comes first. When we say 12, it's 12. When we say 3, it's 3. When we say 8, it's 8. And we say bedtime is midnight, bedtime is at midnight. If guys are used to being able to be 15, 20 minutes late to a scrim or to practice, whatever it is, well, then that's what they're going to be used to. You just have to help them grow out of that. And we've done a fantastic job with that, right? Like I said earlier, they're always committed to these things so long as you show them why it's important. If you start to doubt yourself and second guess yourself and things like that, you can't succeed, right? It's far better to just give something 100% effort, put everything that you have into it and believe that that's gonna work. And then if it doesn't work, identify why and go back and fix mistakes. I did not do this job perfectly. I'm still growing as a coach. Like you said, it's the first time I've done this in esports, right? It's the first time I've done this in general. So yeah, of course I've made mistakes along the way, but there's never a point where I'm like, oh, I just can't do this. It's not that we went out to MSG and we just played really well that day. It's the culmination of all of the good decisions that the organization and its players have made over the last year. Like, we put in the effort, and then we trusted that putting in the work every single day from 12 to 3, 4 to 7, 8 to 10 would produce the results. And we did that as a team.